All right, hello Drawing One artists. Today I'm going to show you a demonstration on one of your at-home projects, which is using the paper bag that I gave you, the brown paper bag, and then you should have two pieces of paper in there that you will be using for this particular project. So I'm going to share my screen. So you're able to, there we go. Now what you're going to be doing for this project as far as setup goes, you're going to need your brown paper bag and you're going to want to fill it with something that's a little bit heavier. It could be like an apple, it could be something that's not going to obviously bust the bag, but just give it a little bit of a natural shape that a bag takes if something's in it. I'm going to just use a regular old towel. You could use a t-shirt, paper towels, whatever. I'll put it into the bag, and then after you get the object in there, you're going to take it about the middle, and you're just going to twist it. Then over in an area that is away from your work area. So for me, I'm going to set my paper bag over on my desktop over here. So I'm going to put a piece of white sketch paper, and then I'm going to set my paper bag here. Now ideally, you guys want your space to be flat, but for me, mine's a little bit diagonal. But anyways, you just set it up on a white paper. So yours is essentially, when you look at yours, it'll be upright like that. But you set it down on that piece of paper, however you like the composition. You know, you could twist this a little bit, let it set, leave it be, give it a couple seconds to kind of unravel a little bit and get set. And then what you're going to do is take your smaller white piece of paper, just your plain white. It's actually pretty thin. This is a drawing paper. You're going to go in and you are going to draw the bag. Now this exercise is actually quite comparable to the exercise that we're doing in class, or that we started in class with the white draping of the fabric. So what I'm going to do is, you notice how I switched the way I'm holding my pencil. What I'm going to do is go in and start grabbing the outline. Again, we're doing another observational drawing from real life, what's in front of us. So I'm going to go in and I'm just putting in the general outline of the bag. This is where the twist is, and then it comes up, down, round. Now, I had something interesting happen. Up at the top, I'm going to cut off a lot of my composition. I don't want to do that, especially when I have all this extra space down here. So I'm going to flip, could erase, but I'm going to flip, and I'm going to start down a little bit farther, make a little point where the farthest spot is, and then I'm going to go in and re-sketch. Twist is there. Down, and then there. Comes up where the twisted part is. My twists kind of go that way, and then I've got the part that goes upward. So really, when you draw this, it's actually going to end up being fairly life-size. So there, I just kind of did a quick sketch. You should be able to see my whole sketch there. And then, of course, I'm going to put a little line for where my white paper is. And then remember, once we get done with a general sketch, what you need to do is take that pencil and use it as a tool to check on your angles that you just drew in. And so that's what I'm doing right now, is going in and checking to make sure that my angles I put down at first are correct. Because if those are not right, then it's not going to look realistic. And our goal in observational drawing is to get it to look as realistic as possible. And so as you build up and get that detail, it becomes a lot more realistic. And essentially, your drawing will come to life. So I'm still, there we go. Some crinkles here. And then just gonna check up here. So that is part of starting it. And like I said, you really have to be patient with going in and getting the outline out. Once you're done with checking the proportions and checking your angles with your pencil, and actually remember, talked about visually holding it out, straight out in front of you, and turning it to get those angles. Once you have that done, then it's going in and pulling out values, lights and darks. If you need to, get out your value scale. The brown paper bag, in general, if we compare it to a white piece of paper, is like a middle gray value, middle gray. So I'm just kind of starting that in. And then, of course, my shadow is really, really dark underneath here. I have a really, really high shadow there. And this particular project, we want it to look super, super ultra realistic. So this particular project should take you anywhere from, well, I for sure want you to spend 30 minutes on it. Take a picture of it after you've spent 30 minutes on it to show your progress. Because I can guarantee you, if you spend 30 minutes on it, stop, take a picture, take a rest, and then go back to it for another 20, 30 minutes, it will take an amazing change, transformation just in that time. So that is what you'll be doing at home for this week's project. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, we'll see you soon.